Hi, this is Lee, and today we have a small unboxing video. This is Marvel United X-Men from Simon Games. It was Kickstarter, and this is the core game. So just like the original Marvel United, contains heroes, villains. Different, this one has so-called anti-heroes. They can be heroes and also be villains. So gameplay-wise, X-Men does contain more gameplay contents than the original Marvel United. So in the core game box, we have Professor X, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Wolverine, Storm, Juggernaut, Sabertooth, Mystique, and Magneto. And let's open the box and have a look. So that's rulebook, and it does contain some extra information, as you know, Xavier solo mode. Basically, you're playing three heroes, and they're also kind of controlled by the Professor X, and it's kind of a small solo game mode, and it does contain this super villain mode. So basically, it's a game master mode. You can play as villains and then against heroes. So make this game up to 5 players, and this wasn't a thing in the original Marvel United, and this is a completely new mechanism. It contains supervillain cards, superhero cards to balance the game. Rest of the rulebook is pretty much the same as the original ones. There are some additional rules, anti-heroes, villain delayed and accelerated thing. Other than that, all new. I do believe all the cards are kind of rebalanced. Each hero stack contains 4 cards with special powers. Right, and that's the core game contents. Look at the miniatures; it's all painted up by me, of course. The game comes with unpainted miniatures, so just don't think this is actually the game you're gonna buy in, Walmart, Target, or Amazon, or whatever game retail shop you can get. Miniatures come unpainted, but I painted all those, so this makes this entire game quite unique. Right, for the locations, we have the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning. We have the Hangar Bay, the Central Space Station. We have the Weapon X facility. We have this Astro M. We have X Jet. We have this. What is that? I don't know. We have this island. And we have the villain cards with Mystique. This side is for the super villain mood. So if you're playing a super villain mood, you have to give heroes a specific starting action tokens as a balance. And there is a special setup for each super villain as well. So for Mystique, place the Senator Kelly token in the hero starting location. This is the basic villain info. You have special rules, you have the ban effects, you have the overflow effects, you have the plot, and the health is defined with number of players. And the Sabertooth, that's supervillain mode. That's the actual token you're giving out as the supervillain, and the special setup, and then that's the special rules, ban, overflow, and this plot here, and the various life points. Juggernaut, again, there's no superpower as Juggernaut, and that's the token you're giving out as the supervillain. Special rules, spam, overflow. Magneto, special setup. There is a specific mission card you're going to use, and that's the token you're going to give out at the start of the game as supervillain. Special rules, spam, overflow, and the plot. That's the villain dashboard. There is an exact same piece in the original Marvel United box, but again, this is a standalone game, so it does contain some duplicates of the original Marvel United, and that's the characters deck. So I believe it's a 12 card deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there are 4 cards contains special abilities, 4 or more. Actually, can be more. Professor X has 6 cards with special effects, but some are just dupes, I believe. Like leadership, there are different, but kind of same. And Genesis Intelligence, different, but kind of same. It's swapping out different action tokens. Professor X, artwork wise, there are quite some dupes. Like this art is being used 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then I think there are only like 4 different arts. Oops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's only 4 arts they're using for this 12 cards deck. That's this deck. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 cards with special effects, and there are 2 copies of each. They are the same. Well, those 2 are the same but not the same. They're kind of different actions, but those 2 are the identical ones. Spy Master. They did make a special logo, art logo, for every single one of these characters. That's pretty nice, and the background of the cards are all different. That's appreciated. Magneto is 1, 2, 3, 4 cards with special effects. There's 2 identical ones and the 2 not identical ones. Basically, this one is better than this. This can treat move as ending actions, but this can treat ending symbols as all actions. So kind of different. Jean Grey is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 4 cards with special effects. Identical ones. So 2 pair of telepaths and major telekinesis. Cyclops, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards with special effects. It does help the defer all characters, but not much, considering there's only like move, attack, star logo, and then the all action logo. So it's only like 4 different resources. So even there contains more cards with special effects than the original Marvel United, but still the basic design of this game limited the characters. They just can't, defer to each other too much. They're more or less the same, but a little bit different. So this is not a very heavy root game. It's a family game. It's meant to be easy and relaxing. So don't expect it too much from this game. And I believe the retail copy of the core game is only like $20 or something. So it's pretty cheap, to be honest. Beast contains 4 cards with special rules as well. That's Storm. Storm also contains 4 special effects cards. Yeah. Wolverine. I like the Wolverine most. I'm just gonna dig into Wolverine's effect a little bit more, actually. And it's because Wolverine's special effects are kind of lame. So first of all, he has 3 identical ones. The claws and the special effects against 2 extra attack actions. That's essentially 2 extra damage, and that's it. They are identical, but not really identical. So one is to move, one is to attack, one is to do anything. But they all brings 2 extra damage to whatever you're doing. The last one is the healing factor. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you have less than 3 cards in hand at the end of the villain turn, you may draw 1 card. So this card grants you 1 card if you have less than 3 cards. And as long as this card in storyline means you played this card before. So if you play this card, and whenever for the rest of the game, whenever you have like less than 3 cards in your hand, and by end of the villain turn, you can draw 1 card. That grants you extra action for your next turn. So it's good, but it's not really powerful as a healing factor. I would assume, like, by healing effect, you don't discard when you're playing card. You still keep the card in hand, or you just cannot run out of your deck. Whenever you run out of the deck, you reshuffle it. That would be a powerful healing factor, but I'd assume that'd be too powerful to be, played, and it can be broken. So I guess it's best we can get. Yeah, and that's all Wolverine's special effect cards. Rest of cards just all actions, stars, attack, move, attack, move, stars, and it's not the great ones I would expect. Right, those are the supervillain cards. So for supervillain mood, you actually, I believe you draw 3 of those cards, and you, wait, let me get the rules, 1 sec. So those are the supervillain cards, and by start of the game, if you're playing the supervillain mood, you shuffle those 12 cards and you draw 4 of them, you keep 3 of them. Those are the cards you can play in the game whenever it can be triggered during the game if you're playing the supervillain. Those are all cards that grants you extra benefits. You can sabotage more to the heroes, or get more resources, or just trying to destroy all the heroes. And to balance this, there are superhero cards. Those are essentially the same, but those are distributed into each heroes. So each hero players draw 2 random superhero cards and choose 1 to keep. So each hero only have 1 superhero card to play during the entire game. But as a supervillain, you have 3. So that can, balance out a little bit. And those are the ones, mission cards. Defeat thugs, rescue civilians, and clear threats. This is the special missions that's required if you're playing as Magneto in the supervillain mode. So you have to replace the rescue civilians mission to this one. So this is essentially a challenge. You have to match those 2 in 1 turn by playing the start and the move action. It's just kind of a small challenge. And speaking of challenge, we have 3 challenge cards. Those are just the actual difficulties if you want to play. So each hero removes 1 all-action cards from the deck, and each hero removes 1 double all-action cards from the deck, and each hero removes 1 all-action and 1 all-action. So this basically limited your resources. You have to calculate better before you playing the next card. So because you're missing, that's essentially 3 resources of any kind, and then you have to make sure you play your resource carefully to achieve the clear the threats, rescue civilians, defeat the thugs. You have to calculate carefully. Right, and then rest of the cards are just the master plan cards for Magneto, and then the special threat cards for the Magneto, and then master plan cards for Mystique, and special threat cards for the Mystique and Juggernaut, and Sabretooth, and yeah, that's all the contents in the box. Actually, there's a new tracker. It's different from the original Marvel Unite. The original Marvel Unite was using a small transparent blue cube. It was a small suggestions of the cosmic cube, but this is just a metal colored cube here. The game does come with all kinds of tokens. I have the plastic ones, so I didn't bother to punch all those tokens. The difference between those tokens and the original Marvel United are those ones: Center Kelly and those delay and accelerated tokens. And I believe this is the what is this? What is this? I don't actually know. A haunted token, used by Sabertooth. That's a special effects by the Sabertooth. Yeah, that's the tokens. Really good quality. It's just I have plastic ones. Too bad. Right, that's the unboxing. I'm gonna have a little bit miniature showcase after. Right, let's start with Wolverine, and this was the first one I painted, and spent quite some time on the clouds, and I actually have a short footage, a recording of the painting process. We'll upload later, but essentially it's just darken color and highlights, a little bit dark color as well, and then a little bit of the environment lighting on the tips, and same here, and except the environment lighting is on the bottom side of the clouds. Basically just simulating regular metal. It's not like much different than other ones I did. Also added a little bit, small highlights here, a little bit, and then this side middle highlights as well. It's regular so-called NMM non-metallic metal, and then rest of the colors all mainly just reference Big Child Creative's official work, and also the official concept art for this board game. I did also add this environment lighting from the right back side of this mini, so it contains a little bit light blue effects from the side, not too much. One thing I want to point out is the eyes. The eyes are very well sculpted, and you don't have to paint the pupils or anything. It's just pure white, and then frame the entire eye shape nicely, and it'll give you a nice result. Teeth as well, it was really nice sculpted. You can tell how detailed the teeth can be, and obviously I didn't like paint them as a separate all teeth, but all those areas are well captured. Another thing I want to point out is the hair, arm hair. It's a little bit too much, so I didn't really paint those. I'm just trying to cover with skin color, and hopefully the shadow will, show itself. If you paint those in black, it'll be just too much. It looks really, really weird. So I just cover with skin colors. Right, anyway, that's the Wolverine I painted. I think the second one I did was the Cyclops. I spent I'm not gonna say most of the time. I still spend most of the time on the base coating and then highlighting. I did spend quite some, focus on the laser eyes here. So it was painted white first, and then covered red from the sides, and then added pink to blend the entire color to show this, laser effects, lighting effects. Other than that, this one is, well, I don't know. It's quite standard pose. There's no much dynamic. I mean, he doesn't really use any dynamic pose in battle anyway. He's using this laser eyes. He just need to stand there and then laser his enemies to death. So it's quite standard pose and fairly easy to paint. This one I did use dry brush for this light blue environment lighting effects. globes. Third one I painted was, I can't remember. Was it Jane Grey? I have a full painting process of this miniature on Twitch. I don't know if the recordings are deleted. I'll make a backup copy and upload to YouTube later. Anyway, again, this mainly just reference on Big Child Creative's paint job. This pink color was quite annoying. I have to. I primed this miniature in black. I primed all my miniature in black. Save some time for some, actual shadowing time. And to paint a proper pink, I have to base coat the space into white again. So it's like an extra layer of base coating. So the pink can be quite pink. Other than that, it's just regular process. If you don't paint pink color on white base, it'll show up really, really dark and not really pink. Anyway, that's Jane Grey here. Beast. It's just another fairly easy one because it's all blue. The paints I used were, I believe it was Mockridge blue and then Temple Guard blue. Oops. The base coat was this one, Mockridge blue, and then all those highlights or layer paints, Temple Guard blue. Those are the two colors I used for blue color. And again, I dry brushed the right backside for some environment lighting, but for this one it doesn't really show well because the entire thing is blue. And then well, anyway, this beast here. What else do I have? Mystic painted next, I think so. That's Mystic. Again, dry brush of the light blue environment lighting. I did leave quite some brush strokes on the face because, in the movie it does, the skin of Mystic, of this character, does contain a lot of, textures, those small scales. So I left those brush strokes on purpose to show some extra texture of this character's skin. And other than that, just mainly referencing copying Big Child Creative's work. Try my best to copy their paint job. Then this one. Again, dry brush the light blue color for the environment lighting. I do believe this parts, the fur on the neck is supposed to be white, and his color is blonded color hair, but I don't think I did that well. There's two similar colors. I didn't really pay attention, so I kind of just painted them in the same color. I'll probably fix this later by just paint this entire thing white again. But it looks okay to me at the moment. I like the base of this one. This tree here is not tree, but this thing here fit the thing quite a lot. Sabertooth here, and then I have Storm. I didn't know what color I should use. Not really. So it's just brown color. Then with black, with a little bit yellow and white as highlights. Looks alright. Looks alright to me actually. For the white, again, use the blue color as the shadows. That will make the entire white looks interesting. If you just use white and black, it'll be a little bit boring. But if you add another color, as in shadows or highlights, that'll make the entire section looks more interesting. Again, a light blue color is the environment lighting effects. Then Professor X. This miniature had a little bit issue. I don't know if it's like a common case, but all Marvel United miniatures, both X-Men and also the original Marvel United, they can have a little bit weird things on their like big flat surfaces. So this was, see if I can still find it somewhere. See, things like this, I didn't sculpt this, or this was not a detail that sculpted on his head. This was just a factory damage, I believe. So this contains a lot of that issue. I tried to use super glue and then sandpaper it. I sandpaper it and then apply a little bit of super glue and then sandpaper again, trying to cover all those weird details, but not really fully covered here. So, but this side looks all right. Again, light blue color as the environment lighting. Rug, wooden floors. That's Professor X. Magneto. His helmet was supposed to be like really metal, shining metal, but I don't know how to create the effects that Big Child Creative's using, so I just kind of leave it like this. I did spend some time on the big metal chunks here, with just again similar technique as the Wolverine claws. Darken color, highlights, dark color again, and light blue color environment lighting, and then that reflects a little bit on the metal, create effects. And finally, Juggernaut, that's the last one I painted because I was afraid of painting his helmet because it's quite big chunk of metal and it's quite flat surfaced. Again, copying Big Child Creative's work, try my best to copying their work, and I think it turns out all right. I also have a recording of this. I'll post it later, and looks okay. Right, so that's all the Marvel United X-Men core box miniature I painted. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and keep in mind I'll post some of the painting process in following days. Right, see you next time.